Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the autonomous character of our world around us, and this time we will try to answer not so easy question, but I will really do my best to give a constructive answer, as constructive as possible. The question is as following: why since more or less 1960s, 1970s, the progress in real science technology is fading away? Some people would say slowing down, if they do not want to be so dramatic, but for sure now, currently, we don't have any real progress, we don't have any new inventions, but the only things that are sold to us as new inventions of current days is another online shop or application on the mobile phone, or another application that tracks us or listens to this what we talk to each other. So my idea for, I would say, the main reason of this intellectual collapse of our modern times is as follows. I found once an article of one American retired professor from Stanford, and he was recalling the days of his youth days when he was a student in Stanford. And the interesting thing is that when he was a student at the end of 1960s there in Stanford, they had 13,000 students, fine, for total university, and 500 administrative workers. And they were able to deal with any issues students, faculty, and other workers of the university had without the internet and so on and so on. Everything was on paper. But now, when he checked the statistics of the same Stanford University, he studied at the end of 60s. There, when he retired for good, there are again about 13,000 students, okay, fine, and 13,000 administrative workers. Wow. So we have really hyperinflated mandarinate occurring for this more or less 60 years. And if you ask majority of these administrative workers at this university, what are you doing at your work? They will tell you strategy, innovation, recruitment, modification, other something Asian. But if you really look what they do, their only function is to forward the emails from one person to another, or the compliance teams are growing, and the teams that are tracking what other people are doing, or simply many lawyers whose the only function is to defend the university against the workers of this university who are failing the cases to the court against the employer because something bad happened. And it happened all around the world to different level, yes. In some places it's even worse than at Stanford, and some places it's still not so bad, but it's still bad. It means the administration grew for the last decades. And in my opinion, there are two reasons. Simply divisions of the university into many sections, increased prosperity since 1960s, and export of the productions to the third world countries. So many people believed in so-called economy of the services. So many people started delivering services that are not needed or simply non-existing, like these strategies that never exist. And there is also political reason, because many parties within these people who are these officials and having good and very often well-paid job doing nothing, they are simply the benefactors. They got benefits from the current political system, so they are the solid electorate of especially leftist political parties. This is how I see it. But it's very costly, and the rapid increase of this Mandarin aid that really put shackles on science and scientists, administrative shackles. This is the main reason of the decay of the progress in science, similarly to this what happened in China in medieval times when Mandarin aid, so also administration, their in case of China state administration, wanted to control everything. So what's typical to official mentality? This is what they do not understand and they do not know. They simply shut down, close, because they do not want to have problems with this. That's why China never colonized any regions beside China, despite the fact they had great sailor in the first half of the 15th century, Zheng He. But officials were not interested in exploration of Ceylon, nowadays Sri Lanka, and the east coast of Africa. He reached. So officials are killing science. Growing administration is a cancer that is killing, like in medieval China and ancient China. Science is killed in an analogical way by administration, like in medieval and ancient China nowadays. All the best. Have a nice day. Bye.